In surgery, we send an electrical current through your body in what we like to call electrosurgery, which is why in pre-op we ask you approximately 386 times if you have any metal implants in your body and where those are located. It's very important. There are 3 principles of electrosurgery. 1 is current, 2 is voltage, 3 is impedance. Amps, volts, ohms. Think about it like water flowing through a pipe. Your current is the amount of water, the amount of electrons flowing through that pipe. Your voltage is your water pressure. Impedance is whatever's stuck in your pipe. Maybe mineral deposits around the pipe, maybe there's a big hairball clog like the one in your shower. When current hits impedance, that's resistance, right? And resistance converts electrical energy into heat. But not all tissues are created equal. They do not have the same impedance. For example, fat has higher impedance, whereas muscle has lower impedance because it has higher vascular content, more blood, more water. Frequency is the number of waves passing through a point over time. Okay, and it's measured in hertz. Electrosurgery runs at 200 kilohertz to 3.3 megahertz. Electrosurgery has 2 modes. 1 is monopolar and 2 is bipolar. Monopolar is the most common. That's your workhorse. You're going to see it the most during surgery. Electricity flows from a generator, also known as the ESU, which stands for electrosurgical unit, aka BOVI, aka for total joints, I like to call it the Manhattan Project because they turn it up really high. That's an inside joke that you wouldn't get unless you actually work in surgery. But anyway, the generator sends electricity through a wire called the BOVI pencil. And I have one. I'm not going to let you down. Let's find it. Let's get out my bag of tricks here. Here we go. Here we got one. BOVI pencil. This gets opened sterilely to the surgical field. We're just going to pretend it's sterile. And the surgeon and the surgical tech keep the pencil because that's what we need to operate on the tissue, right? And then they're going to throw off, this is a smoke evacuator because obviously burning flesh causes smoke. But here, this is the plug into the generator. Electricity comes up this cord. Heat is conducted through this, what is known as a BOVI tip. It's not sharp, it's flat. Sometimes they're Teflon coated because Teflon is non-stick. This right here is a vacuum for the smoke, and it has 2 buttons on it, one for cut and one for coagulation. So if we're using electricity to reduce blood loss in the operating room, where does that electricity go? It's a really good question. Doesn't electricity have to ground somewhere so we don't electrocute people? Yes. That's why we put a grounding pad on you. Sadly, I don't think I have a grounding pad or a BOVI pad. It means the same thing. I don't think I have one of those in my collection, so here's a picture of one. Electricity goes from the generator to the patient's body, through the patient's body, to the grounding pad, back to the machine. Monopolar electrosurgery is the reason why we ask you an annoying amount of times if there are metal implants in your body, because we don't want to put that grounding pad on anything metal because electricity takes the path of least resistance, and if it hits that metal before it hits that pad, internal burn, external burn, bad. It's bad. Quick safety considerations for grounding pad application. It is sticky, by the way. It's a big sticker. A lot of times we put it on your thigh, put it on your abdomen, put it on your butt. Regardless, it needs to be put in a well vascularized area, okay? You want to avoid putting it on top of skin breakdown. You're not going to put it on an ulcer. No matter how big or how small, skin tears, we want to avoid that. Do not put it on overly dry areas because it might not stick. Hairy areas, sweaty areas, you gotta get creative sometimes. Second most common type of electrosurgery is bipolar. Since I don't have any bipolar forceps, we're gonna pretend that these salad tongs are bipolar, and you don't need a grounding pad because electricity jumps from time to time. There is a lot more to know about electrosurgery, but we're just going to start simple and build on our knowledge. One thing that's cool though is that electrosurgery has been around since the 1920s. 1926, it was used on a cranie case. And guess who invented the BOVI? William T. BOVI invented the BOVI, if you can believe it. He was a big guy with an even bigger heart. He was a biophysicist that was doing research at Harvard, and he found that high-frequency current could cut and coagulate tissue somewhere along the lines his paths crossed with Harvey Cushing, who's the founder of modern neurosurgery, and Cushing said, I need to have it. I need to have it for my tumor cases to control blood loss. So he pushed the little cart down the road to Brigham and Women's Hospital, which was the first place it was ever used, and he sold the patent. He sold the patent for $1 because he wanted everybody to have access to it. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. He just wanted to contribute to the betterment of mankind, and unfortunately, he did die penniless. from complications due to his diabetes. But if you ever look at a Bovie pencil, even today, and you'll notice that the cut is yellow and the coag is blue, that is a tribute to his alma mater where he did his undergrad at the University of Michigan.